John Diddy appeared in federal court today. It was the music mogul's first appearance before a new judge who
went on through Diddy Combs' downfall of the famous and powerful hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
And he is already complaining. Please let me out on bail. I promise the female visitors.
That a judge denied the second request for bail yesterday. Let's first start there and give you kind of the back.
Pay attention. Rumor has it that Diddy, the well-known music mogul, got into a serious case while incarcerated, and things are not looking good for him. He reportedly took a hard hit and ended up begging for forgiveness. The most outrageous part is that a leaked video is going viral, and everyone is talking about it. This situation could seriously harm Diddy's reputation and career. We're looking at major fab here, so stay tuned for all the details.
The second request for bail yesterday. Let's first start there and give you kind of the backstory as to why did that happen.
The process in New York is exactly the same as in North Carolina. Two parts. This is the first, the likelihood to appear. Are they a flight risk? And do they have a likelihood to commit some crime, specifically any violent crime? And the third portion that the judge touched on in this case is, has that person in the past done some type of witness tampering? Have they attempted to try to, influence witnesses not to report? That's what the prosecutor argued in this case, and then the judge will agree that he had a history of attempting to make the decision that he was participating with the government and not participating anymore. The judge felt there were reasons. The judge actually said there are no conditions for release that would allow this case to continue to move forward without.
Back to putting Diddy on suicide watch. I mean, I learned from you today, just from talking to the newsroom, it's really not as straightforward as you might think. As a former chief magistrate, you made decisions like this. So what exactly does that process look like?
In the process of going through the second condition for release in Mecklenburg County, for instance, all of the 30 plus magistrates, determining if the person could go or leave, typically was through setting conditions either for secure bond or secure or a written promise to appear. However, if that person at some point decided to say, you know what, in the process of them talking to you or find out what happened, that they wasn't killing themselves, then you were required to notify someone immediately. Look, this person has made suicidal ideation thoughts, and now we're not safe to allow them to leave. They're going to be held here. If they made that statement during the process of intake, for instance, the sheriff's department will decide to keep them there and wait and determine, okay, now we'll put them under evaluation because they're not safe to leave, and or they may harm themselves or others. So that process is definitely not straightforward, but there are red flags involved instantly because nobody wants to be sued by this.
Do you think anyone makes those statements on purpose? Have you ever dealt with a situation where they intentionally do that? Maybe they don't want to be with the other inmates?
I've seen that happen in the past, but I can tell you the person makes that determination. When you are on suicide watch, first of all, take your shoes straight. But that's because you're in this before you get admitted. So this is pre-admission, pre-classification. You're still in your regular clothes. You haven't switched into a jumpsuit. So you still have your regular shoes. You're taking your shoes straight. You're taking anything that you can potentially harm yourself. You're taking your clothes. You're changing you into some other type of gear where you can't harm yourself. So if you were literally about to leave, you're making those types of comments. Now you just delayed yourself by maybe a few hours, not a few days. So that process I've seen happen where a person was just making kind of crazy comments. Well, you don't know if they're serious or not. So if you're making a comment about I am going to harm myself, I'm going to take every situation as it's serious, and then we'll determine later.
Now, TMZ is reporting that they spoke to Diddy's attorney, who then said that his client is not suicidal. In fact, he went on to be able to make a statement saying he's not suicidal, calling him strong, confident, and focused on his defense. So, you're a defense attorney. Is that protecting your client? And the other question I have for you, just address it real quick, is they put up $50 million to try and get this man out of jail, and then another $100 million on all of this. So, kind of combine that and explain all this to us.
So yes, for what his process is, the case or to defend this case has already started because it's an important public opinion. And so how do I make sure that I put that fire out? It seems like it's raging really fast. I make sure I make statements that he is in the same mind, that this person is there, he's clear, he's conscious, he's aware, he's not down, he's not depressed because he knows he didn't do anything. That's the statement that you're going to make. Regarding the dollar amount, the judge touched on that. This was their appeal. Remember, the first judge denied it. They appealed the judge's decision to not be released. And they said, look, we'll put up any amount you want. He has endless resources. He's not going to leave. He turns himself in. Here's the amount. We'll put $50 million up. We'll put $100,000 up to support that. And the judge, as I mentioned before, said there is no condition, no dollar amount, that no assurance that you can say that this case, the integrity of it, specifically the witnesses that will come forward and testify against you, can be safe while you're out.
Holly Rhodes, we appreciate your insight as always, and I guess this case is going to keep on. And do we know the date yet? We don't ever know the date yet.
Regarding that cell block showdown, have you ever wondered what could push a multi-millionaire like Diddy to risk everything behind bars? Well, there's a twist that has everyone talking. Imagine Diddy pacing in a small cell in an orange jumpsuit with everyone watching him. It seems like he didn't exactly make friends, and the fight allegedly started over something as trivial as toilet paper. Yes, you heard that right, from hip-hop royalty to squabbling over TP, the mighty have fallen right. However, some claim that it wasn't really about toilet paper at all. Rumor has it that he was actually called out for allegedly being involved in some seriously shady business, the kind of dark stuff that usually stays in whispers. As for the fight itself, let's just say Diddy wasn't bringing his usual stage smoothness. According to sources, he was floundering and appeared less streetwise than a fish out of water. Mobile seems to have forgotten that he was no longer in the VIP area.
He has to do that because no company wants to do business with somebody who is being accused, have allegations against them for sexual misconduct and deviant behavior. Nobody wants to do business with that. All the shareholders, it ain't nothing that he's giving up. They like, yo, listen, give me that. They said, they did a Diddy. Take that. You understand? They're going to take that from you. The shareholders is going to say, yo, listen to me. We all going to pull out. No Diddy. But we all gonna pull out our shares and everything if you don't give up what you have in the company.
Did you see that video that went viral of Diddy pacing around the airport after he was out there?
I seen that video. And I seen that look in his face before. You understand? When we was with the same gang, and Mike Owens, aka Mike Cocker, everybody knows D-Ferg did a collection for him because he didn't know how he was going to pay his rent. He didn't know how he was going to pay his rent, child support, and his car. He had one of those drop-top cabaret Volkswagens. So Mike gave $5,000. I wasn't giving him nothing. I'm just telling you right now. He was just collecting money from niggas. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, we gotta make sure he wanna kill himself. He gonna kill himself. Diddy had that pace, and he had that look in his face that he know something may be wrong, or they may have something on him. Cause they took things out of him. We may not have seen what they took, but they had bags and boxes and stuff that they took out of him. So he knows. He's getting a play-by-play of what's going on. And even back then, during that City College, when he was fired from Uptown Records, he was making statements about doing himself. He had that same look in his face.
He looked worried. I'm not gonna lie, for a split second, and I felt bad for a split second.
Like, everybody, I get all kind of hate mail, IGs, talking about that I'm trying to take a black man down. No. I went through every step you're supposed to go through when you got a problem, you got a situation, you got an issue with a man. You understand? I get in contact with them. Try mutual friends. Let's sit down and talk. What you did to Wolf Mother wasn't right. You don't talk to her like that. If Wolf was alive, he'd take your head. You understand? Try to talk to him. People, when they start getting this power, certain positions, have certain amount of money, they don't look back. Some of them don't look back and don't think they have to come back to the people that helped them get to those positions. You understand? I don't care what nobody says. You understand? If somebody helps you and use their ability and their talents to help you get a position and get to certain places and do certain things, you come back. and you make sure things is all right. You don't disrespect people's mother. You don't disrespect your friends that took their money to make sure you was all right when you was wrong, when you was messed up. You don't do that. So by him doing the things that he did and taking the avenue that he took, he's suffering the consequence, and I don't feel bad for him at all. Because people was trying to talk him. People was trying to tell him. You couldn't pull him by the coat and let him know anything. You understand? They messed up the game, brother. When he put that shit out with them, money, power, respect, it ain't never been like that. It ain't never been like that. You got your respect in the street that gave you your power, that brought you your money. Totally different thing. He let that money, power, and respect go to his head, but he had it ass back. So do I care what happened? He got enough money to buy his way out of this. So we think.
So when you look at that video of him pacing around and he's looking worried, do you think it's possible that he might commit suicide?
When you're a narcissist, there's always a possibility because you suffer. But I don't think that he can see himself in a cage. I don't think he can see himself behind those bars in those type of situations. There's too many real dudes that dislike him. But then again, there's a lot of real dudes that need help. And him being behind bars, he could probably help.
Here's the true twist of how everything happened in a single minute when Diddy appears to be about to receive a beating of his life. Guess who steps in? It's not a guard or another prisoner, but the prison chaplain. Imagine it. Diddy is throwing punches like he's in a low-budget action movie, and then he's flat on the ground staring up at his opponent like he's seen a ghost. I'll be missing you. Diddy is on the ground with his fists flying, and this composed chaplain is breaking it up like it's just another day on the playground. Everyone is talking about this unexpected intervention. Some are calling it divine, while others are wondering if Diddy has some sort of holy connection. In any case, it saved him from what could have been a serious mess. However, don't think that this is the end of Diddy's problems. This fight is just the beginning.
Representing some of Diddy's accusers, our Michelle Fisher sat down with All Red to speak exclusively about the atmosphere surrounding a high-profile case.
It's really all about power and abuse of power.
Prominent attorney Gloria Allred, who has represented accusers of Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, and R. Kelly, speaking exclusively with Eyewitness News. She now represents an undisclosed number of Sean Diddy Combs' alleged victims, including Talia Graves.
The trauma of the assault has taken a toll on my mental health.
Tonight's 2020 special, The Secret Life of Diddy, detailing Combs' fall, as he faces individual and class action lawsuits and federal charges of racketeering conspiracy, forced sex trafficking, and prostitution. He's pleaded not guilty, his attorney saying prosecutors are seeking to criminalize sex that was consensual.
Consent is a big issue, and it is the government's burden to prove any charge and all charges beyond a reasonable doubt. That's a very high burden.
Combs is now asking a federal judge for a trial date next April or May, and we could see ex-girlfriend Cassandra Cassie Ventura take the witness stand. This despite an undisclosed settlement reached one day after Ventura filed a lawsuit against Combs last November, accusing him of rape and abuse.
Even if there are confidential civil settlements, there's always an exception in the law that it can still testify in the court of law if they are subpoenaed to do so.
This bombshell surveillance video leaked in May, showing a 2016 incident where Combs appears to assault Ventura. Her friend Tiffany Red detailing alleged verbal abuse in the 2020 special.
And as soon as he gets it, so that wasn't my first time being like, something is wrong.
Combs remains behind bars after two judges denied his request for bond, citing in part dangers of obstruction and witness tampering. Allred says it's a tactic we've seen before in high-profile cases.
Sometimes there are criminal charges filed not only against the defendant, but also against the person who is his friend or supporter who does get a witness. And that was the case in the R. Kelly case as well.
In a third attempt to get out of jail and tell his trial, Combs is again offered a $50 million bond and promising strict home detention. His attorneys writing in a brief to a federal appeal court judge, quote, sensationalism surrounding his arrest has distorted bail and...
Girl, get ready for what Diddy did after that beating that left even the toughest inmates stunned. Is this really the same guy who once said he was born to fly? His designer jumpsuit was a mess, and he was now shaking like a leaf. This is a far cry from the confident Diddy we see on red carpets and in music videos. Word has it that Diddy went from being a bad boy to a sad boy very quickly. He wasn't just shaking, he was begging. Some even claim that he offered to put money on the other inmates' books to get them off his back. From hip-hop king to offering commissary bribes, that's a true fall from grace.
MDC Brooklyn, and we got a report on what's happening there. Doesn't look good, guys. This one doesn't have a lot of good reviews. We're also going to talk about this manipulator-in-chief, this woman. Many say, she's been mentioned in some of these lawsuits, was one of the people really behind helping to allow this to keep going. And yes, Diddy will be appealing later this afternoon. We will be there with the updates to let you know if this new judge will let him out of jail. And meanwhile, let's look at this place that he's in jail, this new home, this troubled Brooklyn place. Here's a picture. It's a high-rise. It is not getting good reviews. I mean, not that it should, but, it should be basic human rights. And this place has faced intense scrutiny amid a spat of vicious inmates, going after each other badly, complaints about dismal living conditions, including maggot-infested food, filthy cells, power outages, and weeks without any sort of heat, which is, not good, especially as the cold rears its head. These apparent conditions were brought to the spotlight during the trial of Maxwell, it's the notorious den of Jeffrey, when her attorney ripped the facility up reprehensible and utterly inappropriate facilities. She complained about using bathrooms, which was an open sewer drain, rats running around, rotten maggot-infested food, freezing temperatures for roughly a week, and an electrical fire caused all the light heatings to go out in the building. Apparently, violence plagued federal lockup made headlines when it was hit with the claims that the staff allegedly covered up a knifing at one point. It holds pretrial detainees as well as those serving short federal sentences. It holds about 1,700 inmates. Look, it's not a good place. As multiple places reports are coming in explaining more about it. Who else has been here? We had R. Kelly. So he's in good homes there. R. Kelly. It's also Michael Cohen was there. Betty Rapp, Lisa Mack in the trial, Ghislaine, and now he is in there as he's waiting to see what will happen next. It's interesting. We got his location. I had a picture here. I want to show this. Yeah, Sean John Combs and his registration number. He's located there in the prison database. You can go find it, and it's interesting because he's in the SHU, the SHU, which apparently, with John Witherspoon, most likely for his own protection, and also to keep him from cutting deals, because you can get in there and cut other deals with prisoners in exchange for protection, extra food, commissary items, etc. Interesting insight from John there. It's spot on. They, regardless if people want him to, get shivved, he shouldn't right now. He shouldn't. Nobody should. He should be put in jail for the rest of his life. I'd much rather that happen than have him get out quickly if he did all the things he did. Let's get to the truth of this first. But I want to talk about another part that's coming out, as more people are spotlighting this woman right here. This one right here has been called his... Sorry, I can't see straight. You understand why. I'm doing my best. But Sean Diddy Combs once called his Combs Enterprise Chief of Staff, Christina Khan, his right hand. Wrong. Source close to the federal investigation believes she is more his manipulator-in-chief. If anybody is gatekeeper, Christina would know everything the source had. High-ranking The supervisors were flagged in the Freeport federal indictment, charging Combs with all the things we said. Combs has pleaded not guilty to the charge, but remains in custody. He's now offered a $500 million bail, which is rejected. We'll see if he gets this appeal today. Ram has not been arrested or charged in the case. So does that mean she's working with the feds? Because if his right-hand man is actually sharing the secrets, well, he's even more, right? That's the done deal. Now, is she nervous? If she's implicated or caught doing this as well, they might give her a plea deal or less time in order to sell out Diddy. When you're really under the gun and the pressure's on, it happens. So I can't imagine Diddy's excited right now being behind bars, and probably part of the reason why he's promising no female visitors. Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. Supervisors facilitated his performances with 3 cops from the indictment, stocking the hotel rooms with items, as we talked about. They've gotten evidence from a lot of sources, recordings, text messages, and texts from Christina Forum. There she is again, his right-hand man, woman. Interesting, right? How do you allow that to go down? I love to. How does she justify all this behavior? Just the power, the control? How did she get in? She was the one who was actually seeing Diddy's issues and enabling them to then get her own control? Is that what was going on here? As long as she had that seat at the top of the table, she was okay doing it. I don't know. That's what I'm just wondering. I'm not alleging anything. You see, she is not yet charged, but with these allegations coming in, this is interesting. So, is that her? Yeah, okay, that's her too. I guess so. There she is. This looks more recent because they look upset there. I'm trying to figure out now. So this woman could be a big to figure out what went down, unless she wants to take it all the way with her. Now she did not return her request for comment. We'll see if she comes in. Yes, she was mentioned in Lil Rod's suit. She knowingly, intentionally participated, perpetrated, assisted, supported, facilitated the venture, is what he alleges. And Forum required Combs' domestic employees, including butler, chef, housekeepers, to carry a fanny pack with substances there, pink drug, combination of things, and he could indulge his choice at any time. So she would apparently, according to these rumors, would be there ready and willing to ensure to have any substance, people, etc., etc. So, if all true, a lovely individual, she's, I'm sure, very happy to make this web. But that's where we stand. So, far from this, this mansion that he was in, now he's in the range. He's going to be in this high-rise security complex for it could be a little while. We'll see if today he is able to get out. That'll be the big question. We'll be there covering all the updates as we get them. Coming in, sadly, this is New York, so we won't get this televised. It's so frustrating. All we get is sketches with him and photos. I don't understand how this is just. Free press, all these trials are public knowledge. We should be in there to ensure that we get the facts. But he's protected right now due to it being in New York. We will stay tuned and be here. So make sure if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for alerts right there. Hit that all. And then when you get those alerts, smash that like. Leave a comment down below. We'll cover this case a lot more. We have a lot more stuff in the bank, but we're obviously leaning into the updates as they come in, and more are coming in. I think today, after he loses this appeal, or wins this appeal, I think it's unlikely, based on the sources I'm talking about, that will comfort more people to come forward, right? Can he get out? Is he really behind bars? It's done? I'm seeing already some private threads and things that we may talk about later.
You may ask why Diddy, the man who created an empire, would wind up begging Fear do odd things to individuals, but some people believe it goes deeper than that. Rumor has it that Diddy is a tough guy. The real Diddy is now showing up with his back to the wall, but don't assume that his intrigues made everything go well. The act was only better than nothing. Let's just say that the other prisoners weren't impressed after seeing the entire scene. Some shook their heads as though they couldn't believe this was the same Diddy who used to rap about being untouchable, while others chuckled at the Four Seasons. An inmate even and said, "I thought this guy was hard, but turns out he's softer than a pillow that must hurt more than a punch mark." But this is where things get interesting. We don't know what they suppoon at, but one man was watching intently as the other convicts were making fun of him, absorbing in every word, and pleading with a face like he had just won the lottery. It makes you wonder what secrets did he might have spoken in that desperate moment. And thanks for Celebrity Spill.